The crystalline chamber stretched out like a frozen ocean, its walls catching and bending light from 100 different worlds. Ambassador Elena Kovac stood at the entrance, her heart beating faster than she wanted to admit. Behind her, Commander James Wright adjusted his dress uniform one last time, and Dr. Amara Okonkwo clutched her datapad like a lifeline. "Remember," Elena whispered to her team, "we're observers today. Smile, nod, and don't touch anything that glows." They walked forward into the Galactic Council chamber, and Elena felt smaller with each step. The amphitheater was designed to make everyone feel equal, but it only made her feel tiny. 47 different species filled the curved seats, their forms ranging from the beautiful to the bizarre. Some breathed through gills, others floated in specialized atmospheric bubbles. A few looked almost like Earth animals, if Earth animals had evolved with entirely different rules. The Zenthari ambassador approached them first. Its body resembled a mantis crossed with a crystal sculpture, all sharp angles and clicking joints. When it spoke, a translator device around its neck converted the clicks into smooth English. "Welcome, humans of Earth. We are pleased to present you to the Council. Your agricultural achievements have impressed many worlds. Your grain exports have fed 3 systems this cycle alone." Elena smiled politely. Agricultural achievements. That was what they knew humanity for. Farmers, gardeners, peaceful plant growers. She supposed it was better than being known for nothing at all. They were guided to a small observation platform, separate from the main council floor. The message was clear: watch and learn, but don't speak unless spoken to. Elena settled into a seat that had clearly been designed for a species with a different hip structure and tried to look comfortable. The council session began with all the excitement of a library board meeting. Trade disputes between the Corvin Collective and the Thessian Union over mineral rights, resource allocation for a new farming colony. Territorial boundaries being redrawn after a stellar drift caused 2 systems to move closer together. Everyone was very polite. Very calm. Very boring. Commander Wright leaned over to Elena. "Is it always like this?" "Apparently," she whispered back. 16 years of first contact, and they've never raised their voices once. Dr. Okonkwo was busily taking notes, her eyes darting from species to species. "Notice anything interesting about them?" she murmured. Elena looked around the chamber again, this time more carefully. The Lyrene delegates looked like deer that had learned to walk upright, their large eyes soft and trusting. The Thessians resembled manatees with arms, their movements slow and gentle. Even the more unusual species had a certain peaceful quality to them. "They're all prey species," Amara continued softly. "Or filter feeders, or herbivores. I haven't seen a single forward-facing eye pair except on us." Wright's expression shifted slightly. "That can't be right. Predators exist on every planet with complex life." "They exist," Amara agreed. "But apparently they don't make it to space very often. Or if they do, they're rare." The Zenthari ambassador was speaking now, presenting a report on humanity's integration into galactic trade networks. "The humans have proven to be excellent partners, peaceful, productive, and eager to learn. Their plant cultivation techniques have revolutionized farming on 14 worlds. We believe they represent a model for future species integration." Elena felt Wright stiffen beside her. She knew what he was thinking. They thought humans were herbivores. They thought Earth's dominant species had climbed to the top of the food chain by being really good at farming. The session droned on for another hour. Then, without warning, every screen in the chamber flashed red. The calm atmosphere shattered like glass. Delegates began making distressed sounds in a dozen different languages. The Zenthari ambassador raised its foreclaws for silence. "We have received a distress signal from Sweet Harbor Colony in the Lyrene system. The transmission is fragmented, but it appears the Kresh swarm has begun an assault on the civilian population." The chamber erupted in worried murmurs. Elena leaned forward, her diplomatic training taking over. "Commander, what do we know about the Kresh?" Wright was already pulling up data on his personal screen. "Parasitic hive mind species. They consume organic matter and use it to build more of themselves. Last known encounter was 40 years ago, 3 systems from here. The council quarantined the system and waited them out. Waited them out? Elena felt ice in her stomach. What about evacuations? There weren't any. The species living there was classified as extinct. On the main display, statistics began appearing. Sweet Harbor colony population, 2.3 million Lyrene civilians. Crash forces detected, multiple bioships, estimated ground forces in the millions. Time since attack began, 4 hours. The council began debating. The Thovian Archon, an ancient being that looked like animated stone, spoke in a voice like grinding mountains. We must organize a peacekeeping observation fleet. I propose we dispatch vessels within the week to assess the situation. A week? Wright said it quietly, but Elena heard the edge in his voice. A Thessian delegate suggested evacuation protocols. Another species proposed diplomatic outreach to the creche, attempting negotiation. The Lyrene ambassador was weeping, clear fluid running down its deer-like face, but it spoke calmly about the need to follow proper procedures. Elena watched them debate. They were talking about observation fleets and evacuation timelines. They were discussing diplomatic protocols while millions of civilians were being slaughtered. And they were doing it with the calm professionalism of people who had never really understood urgency. They don't get it, Amara whispered. They don't have the instinct. Prey species freeze or flee, they're doing both. Elena stood up. Commander Wright grabbed her arm. Ambassador, don't, I have to. She stepped forward to the observation platform's communication panel and activated it. Her voice cut through the debate. The human delegation requests permission to address the council. Silence fell. The Xanthari ambassador clicked in what might have been surprise. This is highly irregular. However, as this is your first session, we will grant your request. Please speak. Elena took a breath. We can help. Humanity has military assets in this region of space. We can deploy forces to Sweet Harbor within 18 hours. The silence deepened. Then, scattered sounds that might have been laughter or confusion rippled through the chamber. The Thovian Archon spoke slowly. You propose to mobilize a military response in 18 of your hours? This is theoretically impossible. No species can prepare defensive forces in such a time frame. Commander Wright stood and moved beside Elena. We don't need to prepare them. They're already prepared. 3 carriers with full marine complements are currently within range. We maintain a standing rapid response force specifically for situations like this. The council stared at them. The Xanthari ambassador's translator clicked rapidly before forming words. You maintain warships in a constant state of readiness? Your vessels are perpetually prepared for violence? This seems wasteful, aggressive. Elena met the mantis-like being's compound eyes. We maintain them because we've learned that peace is best protected by those capable of winning wars. The Lyrene people are dying right now. While we debate, they die. We can stop it. The Thovian Archon leaned forward. And if we grant permission, what do you expect to accomplish? We'll save them, Elena said simply.